Let me start by saying something that a lot of people are scared to talk about, or a lot of women do not say out loud. You can be married to your husband, love him, but yet you feel like you are no longer really aligned. You could marry your husband, love him, and feel like you have outgrown him. And this is not because you hate him now, or when you were getting married to him, you were blind. No. It's possible that when you met each other, you were both on the same level. But as a woman who maybe has the call of God upon her life, or is more business-oriented, entrepreneurial, you begin to find that because you are growing on a different pace with your husband, it now looks as though you are no longer on the same level. Well, let's talk about that. And you do not have to be ashamed. So if you've ever thought, I feel like my husband and I are no longer aligned or no longer on the same level, then stay with me. This conversation is for you. Now, if this is your first time here, my name is Coach Ayomide Sinesis. I'm a relationship and marriage coach that help high-functioning, strong, purposeful women to enjoy love, life, without getting burnt out, without shrinking, and without losing themselves. And I also help couples who have conflict or differences but still want to do marriage the kingdom way. So if this sounds like you, or sounds like something that you are going through, then this is the channel for you. Make sure you hit the subscribe button right now before we get right into it. And if you have not liked the video, why are you waiting? Now, outgrowing a partner is not always dramatic. It could be as little as you are beginning to spend more time with God, or your pattern of spending more time with God seems more pronounced and is in a different version, but your husband or your partner is having a different style and it feels as though they're not doing enough. Or you got married when both of you were figuring out life together, and it was not a problem that he had an accent or he spoke in a kind of way, a kind of manner. But now you as the woman, you've grown. God has blessed you. You are leading an organization somewhere. You have a thriving business, or you are even a pastor or a minister in church. And now a lot of people, young ladies, young men, look up to you as a mentor. And somehow it looks like your husband is rather more simple than you are. Or maybe you are more ambitious now. You are chasing goals. A lot of things are on your mind now. You want to win Forbes. But your husband is looking at you like, I just want to be here. I just want to be present. I just want to be grounded. And you're beginning to resent him a lot more. You're starting to complain more. You're starting to see him as he doesn't care. You're starting to ask yourself, why am I even here? But it is evident that you both still love each other. But you just want and wish that your husband was that male colleague of yours, or that pastor of yours, or that senior colleague of yours that can relate so much to your goal and your visions, because that man is also chasing the same. But here you are, you come home trying to talk to your partner about your next vision, and it's like, I get it, but I think you should take things slow. And you're like, oh no, this is not what I want. I get that feeling. Sometimes it is just that you both have different interests right now, and you wish he went out for more business conferences or more networking events, and he's like, I would rather just be in my company. You know? Yes. And you know what? As a woman, the moment you start to correct your husband all the time, you start to lose patience when he's doing certain things, then this is where marriages start to bleed, and marriages could end. Practically. So before I tell you what to do, I would like to point out some truths. They are honest truths, and it could sound as though I do not care about your feelings, but I do care about your feelings. Your marriage is not a project where one person is the builder and the second person is the construction site. So no matter what happens in the marriage, one person is not always supposed to be like, let's do this. This is what we should do. This is how we should do it. And the second person is just there like, okay, I follow your lead, ma'am. That's not how a marriage is supposed to be. Secondly, you can never grow for your partner. Focus on your journey. Yes, two have become one and you both should actually work together, but you can never grow for them. Sometimes a healthy marriage looks like you being allowed to grow, him being allowed to grow, without you both growing at the same pace or simultaneously. And sometimes it requires you both growing into different directions, but there is still a common ground between you both. For example, he could grow into forex, money, and all of that, while you grow in the direction of ministry. It doesn't mean that the root is different. The third thing I want to point out is biblical models for marriage is different depending on what marriage. For example, the Abraham and Sarah marriage model is the model where the husband is the lead, is taking all the steps forward, and the wife is following. Now, the second model, another model, is the Deborah and Lapidot model. This model where Deborah is more in the front. Lapidot was mentioned just once as the husband of Deborah. Another model is the Aquila and Priscilla model, where both of them are doing things hand in hand. You see, now, does it mean there are marriages where the wife should take the lead? No. For every biblical marriage, the wife submits and the husband is the head. But what I mean is the models for which one partner is seen or visible or popular differ from another. So you do not have to force your husband, if you are the Deborah and Lapidot model, to conform to the Aquila and Priscilla model. It's different. And if you are the Abraham and Sarah model, you do not have to feel bad that someone else is Deborah. You see where this goes? Yeah. So the real question is not, how do I change my husband? The real question becomes, how do I respect my husband and retain or keep growing my love for him while we have a healthy marriage and both of us are growing at our own paces? That's the right question. And this singular question determines if your growth or his growth is going to become an evolution or is going to become an erosion. Evolution in the sense that new things are going to spring forth from that. Erosion in the sense that it erases great things that were supposed to be born. Now, let me share my own personal story. What I am teaching now is not theoretical to me. It has happened to me. But I wasn't married. I was dating a guy at some point, or a man at some point, where when we met, we were both aligned. We had the same goals, the same visions. We were similar in ambitions and all of that. Spiritually, we were aligned. But guess what? I began to grow wider apart from him. And it was spiritually. So this was the season of my life where I started to know God more for myself. I started to have a relationship with God. I started praying in tongues. I started understanding faith, God, more than ever before. But my partner, on the other hand, was just there. Like, it was just a Christian who goes to church. He loved me. I did love him. But I just knew that I was growing wide apart. And I knew that if I stayed with him, it was going to be one of two things. It was either I shrink in terms of purpose, or it was that I was doing purpose, but it wasn't really understanding what I was doing. And so I would walk that path lonely, even though we were married together. And it was a hard one on me, because I didn't want to get married to him and start resenting him, or get married to him and leave my purpose, leave what God has called me to do, just because I want to be happily married. And so I decided to leave the relationship. But let me say this clearly. If you're a young woman watching this video and you are dating right now, let me tell you that dating stage or the dating phase is a discernment phase. It is not the phase where you commit fully and say for better or worse. No, that is marriage. Marriage is for better or worse, and we pray not to say the worst, but it is commitment in marriage. So if you're dating and some things feel off, feel free to walk away. When you pray and you seek counsel and it seems like walking away is the best option, please do walk away. But when you're married already, there is love, and this is no case of an abusive marriage. I'm talking healthy marriage, but maybe goals are beginning to be divergent. Then you can actually seek counsel too. But commitment is the way forward here. And I just want to point this out again, that marriage is not a trial phase. It is not the free trial phase where you're just looking to see if things work and then the first 2 years you're like, I'm out. No, except there is a case of abuse or harm, then you gotta sit down there and let's talk about it. There's always a way out. Yes, there's always a way out. When you get married to someone, you are choosing their personality, their processes, their mindset, their values, their future, their paces. You see, so marriage requires responsibility. Taking responsibility for your choices and being responsible in the marriage to make the marriage better. Marriage is not fantasy. I know you have fantasies like yes, but marriage is like real life where you get to see this person at their worst and at their best. Now, how do you deal with this if you are a married woman who is committed to making her marriage work? The first thing is separate exposure from value. I get it. You are more exposed now. Maybe you go out better, you have more connections, you are learning more on certain topics, and it looks like you are more exposed on that subject matter than him. Do not confuse your exposure with value. Your husband might not have as much exposure as you in certain areas of life, but he might still be valuable. So I want you to sit down, assess your husband. What are his values? What are his strengths? What are the things he does well? How does he make your life better? How does he make you fly? You see, think about those, and you would realize that your husband is not useless or worthless. He is valuable, but just different. Because the moment you confuse exposure with value, you start to resent your husband. The second thing to do is have adult conversations, not emotional dictations. Sit down with your man. He's your man. I tell women this all the time. There is so much power you have over that man that you do not know about because you are not calm enough or patient enough to see the best side of that man. So, sit down. Hey, darling, you know what? I noticed that I am interested in certain topics that you're not. And I understand this is who you are. I'm not trying to rush anything. But I just feel like in this season of my life, I prefer to have certain conversations about my business, about my ministry with you. But sometimes it seems like you're not so interested. I know you love me, right? I just feel like in this season, I would appreciate you being there for me more when I have business questions, or when I want to talk about ministry, or when I want to talk about my NGO and stuff like that. Have those conversations. The man might just show you a side to him that is more compassionate than you have ever seen, because this time you're speaking with the right tone, with the right pitch, at the right time, in the right place, and with the right words. You see what I just said? Tone, pitch, place, time, words. The right tone. You don't say, so you know what? I just want everything. I just want this marriage to work. No. Babe, I want this marriage to work. Volume. Babe, I want this marriage to work. It's different from, babe, I want this marriage to work. Volume. The right time. Is it when he just got back from work and is stressed and a lot of things are clouding his mind, and you just go there and you're like, you know, I want to talk to you about something. Take a chill pill, girl. The right words. You don't have to say things like, sometimes I feel embarrassed by the way you talk in public, or sometimes I just feel like you don't pronounce certain words right. Girl, babe, you know what? I want us to watch more videos on how to use the cutlery. I want us to go to more places, fine dining, restaurants. Why? I like the food at home. Yeah, babe, but I just know that God is taking us to a new level. And like you can see, I'm beginning to meet new people. Now, this is not to pressure you, babe. It's just that I want us to go out more. I want the world to know the man, the handsome man I got married to. Now, some of you are thinking right now, why do I have to pep talk an adult? Girl, you want your marriage to work or not? Because if you don't want it to work, then you can, exit right now. But I'm talking to women who want their marriages to work. Because marriage is a kingdom business. Your marriage is a ground for defeating the devil. So if you are up and going about little things when you're supposed to be calm, don't let the devil win the battle, girl. Come on, don't. Then the right place. Are you raising this conversation in the car when the kids are behind? Or are you raising this conversation after church where you're going home? The man is just trying to have a great Sunday and you're like, you know what? No. Okay? Yeah. Third thing. Now this point is especially for women who are ambitious. You have a personal brand. You're there. The whole world sees you as girl. She has a life going on well for her. This is the point. Stop trying to make your husband your audience and stop trying to make your husband your team. Like I said, kingdom models, there is the Aquila Priscilla model. Now, the same way in the world of value and business. Some men are going to be their wife's chauffeur. Not because they are the drivers necessarily, but because that's how they support. They are like that. So they're going to drive you to your conferences or your big business meetings and will prefer to stay at the back seat. While some other men will prefer to plan everything with you and have a spot on the speaker's list. Some other men, when you're shooting that video, they like to pop up and give you a kiss, plant a kiss on their forehead, and the whole world is watching the video and like, oh my God, our husband is so sweet. And some other men, they do not like attention. You're doing all the video thing, you're behind the scenes, making tea, coffee for you, and saying, right on baby, well done. But nobody sees that. Stop trying to make your audience the extension of your brand because you're trying to do couple goals. Let the man be. If he's comfortable with that, good for you. But if he wants to be in the back end, just cheering you on, let him be. You don't have to force him. And let me say this, you are not using your husband. That thing of, especially if you're African or you're black, there's a subtle thing of, I don't want people to think I'm doing great, but he's not. Is he complaining, girl? No, he's not. Then yes, just move on. Let people say whatever they want to say. They're going to be fine. Some men support quietly. Some men support loudly. Some men support privately. And it's okay. Let him be. As long as he respects you, respect show up differently. Now, the fourth thing you want to do is decide what is non-negotiable. This is where we talk about your core needs and your core wants in your marriage. For example, you should have certain roots or common grounds. Faith, for example. Is this matter something about faith? Like, he doesn't believe in praying in tongues, but you do. That's a big issue right there. That's not something random. But as long as certain common grounds are still held, for example, your parenting values, he believes, our children should not sleep out late sleep out except they are 20 or 18, or he believes we should have a family goal where we save money together, and you believe that too, or you believe in the same church, you attend the same church, you believe in the same doctrines. If those things are common grounds that are established, then you have to let go of the unrealistic expectations. And you know what? There's another thing about some men will never be as romantic as you want them to be. That I'm going to talk about in another video. So stay tuned, because that's a topic that I've had a lot of questions about. What do I do when my husband is not as romantic as I want him to be? Watch out. I'm going to release that video soon. So turn on notifications. If you have not subscribed now, subscribe so that when that comes up, you see it. And whenever it comes up, I'm probably going to come back to this video and add the link in the description video. So if your basics align, your foundations, your core truths align, then it might just be time to let go of your cosmetic expectations. but some of them are cosmetic. Sometimes what you want is unrealistic. You want your man to be every single thing. A man that cooks for you, that washes the kids, that watches over the kids rather, that is a good father, that is this, that is a ministry person, is showing up our business, that's what you want. Am I gonna give you some clay to mold the man you want right now? So just let go of unexpected. Just let go of unrealistic expectations. Now, the fifth thing is sometimes it is okay to grieve what has changed. It is okay. And I prefer you do this together. Sometimes you don't hate your husband, or you don't resent what he's doing or what he's not doing. You just miss the fact that there was a version of you both that was unbothered about these things, and you miss that version. It's okay to call him and be like, babe, do you remember when we used to go on a date without the cameras? When we used to do XYZ without me being a pastor yet? When I didn't have a company yet and we were sleeping on the carpet? Stuff like that. It's okay to grieve that version of you. And it's okay to remember that version of you is never going to come. But now you have to be in real life, be in present. Stop staying stuck in your past, and stop trying so hard to bring the future forward. Just live in the present, okay? Because sometimes when you acknowledge the grief of the past, let it be, then sometimes it is easier to just move forward, and it is simpler to not resent your partner. But maturity is learning to manage these changes and shifts without necessarily losing intimacy in your marriage. Now, I'm going to say this again. This conversation does not apply to abusive, harmful, or toxic marriages. I'm talking about healthy marriages where both partners love each other, but there's just a little disparity now because one person is more exposed in certain areas than the other. Growth is not bad, but it will test your marriage. And the goal is not marrying someone at your future level. Don't make that mistake of marrying someone or thinking, if you're a single lady, waiting to marry the perfect man that would fit your future. No. Marry someone who believes in your future, who supports your present, and who accepts your past. And someone who you can respect as you both grow together. Someone whose values are core, foundational, and same as yours. And you know that as they grow, you will still love them and respect them. That's who you should marry, not someone who is the version of who you are not yet. That's dangerous, because now you're putting more pressure on yourself, and now the dynamics might change. He might grow way more than you, and you start feeling left behind, and now even resenting your own self for taking the decision. So if you are a high-functioning woman, a purposeful woman, a faith-driven woman that is navigating marriage, emotional tension, alignment, purpose, identity, or even emotional fatigue, burnout, then this is the work I do. Again, I am Coach Ayomide Sinesis, and people call me the emotional surgeon. And just so you know, I offer structured emotional diagnosis and alignment sessions where I help you assess your communication styles, your conflict resolution styles, your marriage, and your emotional health. You do not have to shrink. You do not have to be hard on yourself. You don't need to dominate over the world. You just need to be aligned, to become who God has called you to be, and to enjoy love and life while at it. If you'd like to work with me, the link is in the description. And again, if you are not subscribed, please subscribe. Like this video, share, drop your comments, tell me how this resonates with you, and promise me things are going to change in your marriage.